was 2 years ago when I was in school and was 15 years old. I had this one teacher who always targeted me in front of the whole class because she had an argument with my mother this one time. And she always tried to make fun of me or tried to insult me in some way. So one time she insulted me very brutally. I don't actually remember what she said, but I remember the feeling that I had. It was full of embarrassment and I was feeling very bad about it. And at that moment I thought, why not just grab my ruler, take the sharp point of it, and just smash that ruler into her eyes. As a 15-year-old guy, I wanted to smash a ruler on my teacher's face. That was the first time I had any dark desire. There are two reasons you act the way you do. That basically means there are two reasons for you to do anything. First, what your body desires, and second, what the society desires. So let me explain this to you. Let's say on any given day you wanted to go to the gym. That's what your mind told you to do. Your body told you that I'm actually too tired to go to the gym, so I can't go to the gym today. And at that moment, you probably could have just ignored your body and went to the gym anyway. Because if you are going to feel the pain, then why not just accomplish something and then feel the pain anyway? But you decided to rest. That's your body taking control over you. Let's say one day when you are at school, your teacher tells you that you have long hairs. You gotta cut it out because these are the rules that school has set upon you, right? So you decide to cut it off. But after that, your self-esteem lowers down because you don't feel good about yourself anymore. You felt that your hairs were your pride and you kinda liked them. But after cutting them down, your self-esteem lowered down and you weren't as confident as before, right? This was society making you do things. So the question I want to ask you is what you felt about the story I just told you in the intro of this video. What did you feel about it? Did you kind of relate to that emotion? Or did you think that I was crazy? Well, most of you thought that I was crazy, but if you related to that situation even a little bit, then there are chances that you had this desire at least one time in your life. And I want you to think about it. Like literally think about the moment that you had any dark desire you might not consider appropriate to tell anyone. Like this one time you wanted to hurt someone so badly. This one time you just wanted to steal your friend's girlfriend or anything. Just think about it. You don't have to write it down. Just after having that thought in your mind, that one moment when you felt that dark desire. Now acknowledge that emotion that you felt that time. For example, if you wanted to ruthlessly dominate another man, the emotion was of competition, ego, or even confidence. Now you gotta write that emotion down. And after you write it down, think about the dark desire that you currently feel related to that emotion. For example, if you wanted to dominate another man or just wanted to beat the shit out of another guy, then the emotion was of anger or rage, right? Or even dominance or competition. Write those emotions down. And think of a desire that you can do right now or you want to do right now. For example, if you wanted to beat another guy, the emotion could be anger or rage. And related to that emotion, you could actually friendly spar with a friend or actually beat down a guy, right? This is the type of activity that you have to write it down. I'm not telling you to go actually friendly spar with your friend. I'm just telling you to acknowledge those emotions. Just literally allow yourself to think freely. And you can be brutal too. You can write whatever you want, no matter how dark it sounds or how controversial it sounds. Just acknowledge your mind and just let your mind acknowledge your emotions. Now, after doing this activity, you have successfully acknowledged your emotions and dark desires. And the second part of this video would be letting go of your insecurities. And this is the part that is most important. I had this one friend who had really long hairs, right? And he was really insecure about his receding hairline. So what he told me one day, that he is going for a buzz cut. And when I asked him why, he told me that if I let my hairs hide my insecurity, then my hairs will become my weakness. And that hit me so hard. So for example, I was always insecure about my big forehead, right? I was always insecure that I had a big forehead. And you can notice my hairstyle that it is always covering up my forehead. So I always covered up my forehead by my hairs. And after that, I just got rid of my insecurity, but my hairs became my weakness. If the wind blew a little too hard, my hairs would reveal my insecurity and I would just suddenly feel anxious and kind of, sad that I have a big forehead. And I would suddenly start to feel nervous and not so confident about myself because I just revealed my insecurity. And that is what I wanted to get rid of. That is maybe the reason that I cut it off all of my hairs. But that's just a part of it. I did this because I wanted to change my identity, and I'm going to make a new video on identity too. So if you want it, comment identity in the comment section. By revealing your insecurity to the world, you become vulnerable. And when you become vulnerable, the weaker side of you dies. What really is you actually gets acknowledged by the world. And after that, when you acknowledge your weakness, you would actually start to become strong. Because if you don't even know what you are weak at, then how will you become strong at it? I mean, obviously you know that you have a big forehead, or you have stomach fat, or you have short height. But if you try to hide it, it's like you are not hiding this from the world. You are hiding it from yourself. You are hiding it from oneself. These 2 steps that I've told you will actually integrate your shadow side. The first step would be, let me just remind you of that. The first step would be actually acknowledging and writing down your dark emotions. Not that moment, but dark emotions, and actually trying to write what you want to do with those emotions. And the second step would be revealing your insecurities or becoming vulnerable in some sort of way. Do you think you would be able to integrate your shadow side by the steps I have told you? Until then, bye.